Week 0 has already brought us some drama. We get Dave Portnoy banned from the Horseshoe for week 1, the big kickoff on Fox, this new partnership that is expected to happen. I think it's going to be fantastic. He's rolling into the Horseshoe to have his pick'ems. The fans are going to be booing him like crazy. Not so fast, my friend. Ohio State bans him. Or did they? Let's talk about it. So, the shoe drops that Dave Portnoy would be banned from the Horseshoe this upcoming weekend, brought to you by Front Office Sports. They broke the news, okay? And I saw this and I was like, this doesn't surprise me. Just in the kind of the new world that we live in, he signs this massive deal with Fox. That's going to be his way in to be front and center at Ohio State. And they go, no. Oh, Dave has a history of being banned from events, NFL being one of them. So again, when I saw this and him being Dave, it didn't really surprise me at first. But then when you really got to take a step back, it's like, this is the softest, most pansy move I've ever seen by an organization. And Ohio State, I mean, you are just, you've been yelling little brother before, but now I understand you're coming for a national championship, but this move is extremely soft. And Portnoy responded very nonchalantly, which I found it not like it's a typical Dave Portnoy fashion, but posted the little meme of him wearing the mustache, which he put on when he snuck into NFL games, kind of played it very silently. Like, this is, in my opinion, when I saw this, is the mecca for Portnoy. Like, we have made it. Now, everyone else at Barstool responded to that as they should, but Dave didn't react in Dave fashion. Like, a simple picture is not Dave fashion. Then what I love and what's great about the internet, Connor Stallion's comments underneath it says, hey, you need tickets. That tweet goes viral. We have a blast with this. I mean, Ohio State is being dragged for hours. I'm talking hours last night from everybody about how this is a soft move. What are you doing? You look like a little bro to the max. They've lost 4 years in a row. I mean, you are just playing into the narrative of Ohio State versus Michigan after what happened last year too, of course, where we're screaming, we're tough. Then you see him, they plant the Michigan flag. Then they come out with a felony. It has not been a good track record for Ohio State and how they've managed themselves and how they've handled this rivalry with Michigan of just being completely soft in the entire situation. And so when this comes out, that they ban a single man that just bleeds blue, that is anti-Ohio State from coming in there, which would be, I mean, it's great for all college sports. Like, this is what the rivalry is all about. You want this to be a part of it. I don't understand it. If they have to go to Michigan, Urban's going to be there on the big Fox table. Obviously, he hasn't talked as negatively about Michigan as Dave does about Ohio State. But by golly, what are we doing now? Just hours. Now, after about 8 or 9 hours of the internet just having its way of just berating Ohio State. I mean, it's almost as if they go and they win the national championship and they shoot an air ball. Like, nobody cares anymore because you look like a complete coward by how you respond. According to their AD, he was in fact not banned, according to the AD. So Yahoo reaches out, does some digging, right? And they say, no, we have no problem with him being here. Okay, well, that's interesting, right? Now we're all looking around, we're all waiting. I'm waiting for the response. Here's the thing. Fox is not going to step in and go, no, he's allowed to be here. You won't let us. They get way too much money from Ohio State. They don't want to get into that pissing contest. And so at this whole time, I'm looking around, go, where is Dave's response in this, right? Even if nothing happens from this, even if it were to end here, the damage that was already done prior to this was enough because the news broke. It ran like wildfire. And he's not going to be there on Saturday, more than likely. So if this news breaks, you hit us with this, but he's still not there on Saturday, then it doesn't really matter what the AD says. It still looks like you've banned this man from College Game Day. Now, Dave then takes to the mic, which I was like, here we go, finally. They're always completely transparent, and he brings this up, which was very refreshing. Like, look, we are always one to speak out on something, be very open about it. But with our relationship with Fox, we didn't want to necessarily do anything bad. I knew about this weeks ago, about us not being allowed to go into the stadium. They wouldn't even allow us. He has his own Barstool show outside of the game day show. He said they won't even allow us to do that show. So we had to cancel all of that last minute, lose money on that. where now we had a stage and everything set up for my team to be there that can no longer be there on top of me going on to Fox. So here's the thing. It comes into a massive he said, she said. You get the original news that breaks. They go, no, we didn't. And then Dave, who's not necessarily in the middle, but he didn't break the news, right, is saying, no, this is true. I knew about it being true, but I didn't want to get into a pissing contest, essentially, or throw any more shade, if you will, because of our new deal with Fox. I'm trying to play good boy. But it's got to a point now where I have to say something because you're not going to bury us. We have built a brand, a representation on our voice, on our ability to speak up and say, here's how things are. You can get into who you want to believe and whatnot. I've always been a big fan of Dave. I've always admired his ability to say what he's thinking and feeling. And again, I know that they go from school to school. They've been doing this for years. It's the reason why they landed this massive Fox deal. It's the reason why Fox brought them on to compete with College Game Day to bring that loud personality. You mean to tell me that on week 1, this thing is at its prime position? You get to go into a hostile environment and talk about this team. And he even claims, and I believe him to a T, that he would be cheering for Ohio State. So you were going to get this man to pick Ohio State in Ohio State for week 1 to beat Texas, and you say no? I just don't get it. I'm sure he's going to take his shots. He's going to say what he wants to say, but he's more invested in the Big Ten versus the SEC. There's other battles that are at wits here, right? Myself included. I would love to see Ohio State kind of wreck Texas, but SEC through and through. I gotta stick with the boys. We gotta go punch the Big Ten in the mouth. So I understand where he's coming from here, but man, this is a fun one that has unfolded already going into week 0. It's unfortunate that Ohio State has just completely deteriorated their brand as a strong punch you in the mouth first type of brand, really succumbing to little brother status. Although you just won a national championship, it's gonna be an interesting one. This is one of the all-time great rivalries, and Portnoy finds himself in the middle of something like this once again, being able to be a part of this history in this rivalry that just will kind of create it going even further than that. Let me know down in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think he was banned? Do you think he was not banned? Do you think that, no, they probably said, hey, we don't want him here. Maybe it wasn't necessarily a ban, but they kind of put the foot down. Ryan Day maybe was like, I don't want this guy on my football field. I could see that being more of a ploy, right? And then everyone kind of bought into that narrative. And now the AD saying, well, we did not say this. We did not ban him from Ohio State. We just banned him from being on the football field. There's ways of ins and outs of it. I see it. I believe it. Ohio State, I'm disappointed in you. If you get Wally walloped on Saturday, man, I'm telling you, it's going to be a long season for the boys in old crying day. I'll tell you that. You might need a little extra, some extra dye on that beer. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe. We'll see you boys in the next one. Peace and love, baby.